Yo, what up, PC Konata, aka Mr. Nagato, coming at you another rant. Today, I'm going to be talking about the PS3, the 360, and the Wii. Because the new consoles are coming in now. The Wii U's already out. The PS4 is getting revealed. They're going to reveal the 760, 720 at one point. And I just thought, hey, I think it'll be a good idea to give my final thoughts, my final opinions on the systems. I think it, I think I should do that because, I would like to share my opinions and thoughts and, possibly people will, like it, hate it, debate over it. I don't know. Just want to see what everybody's reaction over it. So, I hope you're enjoying the gameplay. He's a little bit retro, but overall, we're not here for the gameplay. We're here for the commentary. So, before I start my separate individual opinions on the systems, I would like to state my overall introduction to the systems. My overall introduction is I think that this was the worst console war of all time. Yeah, worst console war of all time because everything that was debated over these three systems is dumb. It's dumb as fuck. It's dumb as hell, and I don't know. I think that nobody had a good argument. Nobody had a good argument, in my opinion, about the fucking war. Because overall, when I look at all three systems, I look at it through personal preference. I don't look at it through personal opinion. Everybody's looking at it through personal opinion. And this is just a constant war not to look at it through personal opinion. However, the personal preference idea is more recommended. Seeing that, there's stuff that I hate about the 360. There's stuff that I hate about the PS3. But I can't use that in an argument saying that this system is better because of it. Like, for example, I hate the PS3 for not being socializable. My opinion between the PS3 and the 360 as a personal preference goes around socialization. And not everybody likes socialization, so I'm not going to base it off of it. That's why you look at it through a personal perspective. Somebody else could be looking at it through graphics or the qualities of the game, the fan base probably. People could look at it through a bunch of perspectives, which is why you don't look at it through personal. Which you always look at it through personal preference and not personal opinion. So now I give you my individual reviews of the PS3, the 360, and the Wii. Enjoy. So, my opinion on the 360, I think it's a pretty good system. I think the system was worth it. It probably didn't have the best graphics wise and the best quality wise though, but the quantity of the system and the stuff that it brings you, I think it's very good. I think I think that they made some bad choices, but in the end, the good choices that the Microsoft made for the 360, it kind of is worth it. It brings a reason to fucking play the 360. I do now realize why that they call the system, for hardcore gamers, because, we kind of narrow all the stuff that it has and all the players and the fan base and, the community of it. And a lot of stuff that the 360 has, yeah, it kind of screams hardcore gamer. You know, it has everything that it has everything that, you know, a hardcore gamer could want. It has a pretty good downloadable market. It has, you know, some pretty good games on it. The value of the games kind of sort of goes down, but I mean, the value of the games, like when you comparing the 360 and the PS3, you know, the 360 stays in value while the PS3s doesn't for some reason. I honestly don't understand why is it like that though, but in general, it's like it's something to look at. And even though, like I said, they made some bad fucking choices, like the freaking Netflix thing, where you could, at one point, you could have a party chat and watch Netflix with your friends and whatnot, but they took that out for some reason, and I honestly don't know why. Unless they did, like, state why they did that, and I just haven't looked through it, but. And just a simple fact that they can't play Blu-rays, but who cares about that, you know? And of course, the paying for the internet, but here's the reason why I don't really trip on the internet you being paying for the internet. Here's the reason why I don't trip on it. Because there's nothing to trip on it. It's not like you have no choice but to pay for it every month. It's not like that. It's excuse me. It's I do, you know, you don't have to really pay for it, you know? It's like $25 for 3 months, $60 for a whole year, you know, $8 for a month, but you know, it's kind of hard to find the month cards, you know. But when you look at all your other bills, it's kind of like not even worth mentioning, you know. You pay $60 or even more depending on the carrier for your phone bill. You pay X amount of dollars for fucking gas. You know, you pay that much for fucking gas, and you're refilling gas every 2 weeks, especially if you have a fucking job, and if the job is in town or out of town, you know, or not in town or out of town, more of in your area, if it's in your area or not. You know, you have electricity bills and everything else, cable bills that cost more. It probably matches up in quality, but it's pretty much more. And all you got to do is pay $60 for a whole year, and you don't even have to see it until the same month that you bought that year card. And all you're doing is paying $60. It's not like they're charging you for $60 every month of the year. It's just that they're paying you for that much. And I think I kind of find it stupid that people will complain about, you know, buying, you know, you have to pay for this just to have internet service, where something like World of Warcraft is pretty much in the same boat. I mean, you gotta pay for the online service for World of Warcraft and a few other games that I can't like exactly remember, but I'm not gonna really try to. But it's just that it's stuff like that I don't see a point of complaining about it, you know? I don't see nothing wrong with it. Other than I do believe that you should do more when you're a silver member than you are a gold member. I do believe that you should be able to do more. But outside of that, overall 360 is a pretty good system. It does have its values. It does have its ups and downs, but I would kind of recommend on a personal level. So if on a personal level, I would say it's the best out of the three. On a personal level, on a professional level, I still gotta say it's more of a preference. I see it more as a preference though in general because it's there's some stuff that the PS3 has that the 360 doesn't, and there's stuff that the Wii has that the 360 doesn't. But in general, I just think it's an overall good system. And like I said, on a personal level, I would have recommended this system to anybody. So I'm done with the 360 for right now. Now on to the Wii. You gotta give Nintendo props for the Wii. You gotta give them props. Because they did something different. They strived to do something different. And even though a majority of it failed, they didn't go out of business because of it. It's like they didn't go out of business. They didn't lose a lot of money over it. It was just that some of the stuff was bad choices. Some of the choices that the Wii made, that Nintendo made for the Nintendo Wii, was just bad choices. Motion control gaming is a prime example. And my only reason for me saying that is because I don't think that the system should have stayed. I don't think that it should have been all hyped up on the motion control gaming part of it. I think that it should have stayed regular. I think it should have stayed with the regular type retro gaming like everybody else did, but have, a section where you can have motion controlling in it, I think you should switch between motion control and regular gaming. I think that because of that, it kind of like it was kind of like a turnoff. Well, not really a turnoff, but more of it kind of like sets you back of really getting the it really sets back on thinking about getting a Wii. It really did for me though. I will admit that the only reason why I really didn't really want a Wii is because of the the motion control gaming of it. It's in my opinion, I think motion control gaming is really unnecessary. I do think that it does have its benefits, but if I were to choose, and if I were to have my own personal opinion on it, I really don't like it. I think that outside of boxing, shooting, and dance games and freaking exercise, I do believe that it does show its benefits from that portion. But outside of that portion, I don't think that it really serves that well. So yeah, I like this slash swords, and shit in the freaking Legend of Zelda and whatnot with it though, but I don't see it as something I would want to do 24/7. I would like to switch between, if I wanna do this motion control wise, or do I just want to do this the old fashioned way. I think they should have put more options on, on the Wii because of it. Another thing, I think a good thing about the Wii though is is, well, I really wouldn't say it's a good thing. I would say more of something to enjoy about it was how editable the Wii was. Like when people would fucking hack it and just like edit the textures and whatnot in the games and whatnot. I think that shit looks amazing as fuck. I mean, it really proves how it really proves what people could actually do with shit, you know. Even though I don't necessarily agree on hacking, I do think that, you know, looking at a fucking hacked Wii and the stuff that people put on it is freaking amazing. A certain person that's possibly watching this will probably know what I'm talking about too. But anyway, that's besides the point. There was one thing that also kind of ruined it for me about the Wii was the quality of gaming. I hated the fact that the first party games on a Wii console was a lot better than the third party games. I'm not saying that there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying that if I'm gonna buy a Wii, if I'm gonna buy a system just for its first party games, then there's no point of spending money on it. I do believe that it hardly had any good third party system games, and some people will agree on this. A lot of people will agree with me on this. It kind of shows for it, you know. I see somebody's Wii collection, I barely see third party games. I always see first party games. And I think that kind of like I said, I think that was just a major turnoff on the Wii's part, on Nintendo's part of it. You had Mad World, No More Heroes, Tatsunoko vs. Capcom, and a few other games. Yeah, they're pretty damn good. They were hella damn good. But in general, I don't want to have to pick and choose nothing but first party games, you know. I don't want to have to, if I want to look into invest into a system, I want to look at all the games and I want to pick and choose which ones I want without knowing that most of them are ass. I do congratulate Nintendo on getting their goal, though, of having their, which I think is part of the reason why third-party games are ass, because of their goal, which was, if nobody really remembers, was to get more women into gaming, which they successfully did, but I don't think they should have sacrificed their gaming market like that. I don't think that everything should be reverted to just what they have in their first party department, not their third party department. I also kind of realized that their first party involved department also has better quality in their graphics than it does in their than it does in their games in general, in their third party games in general. I mean, you look at most of the third party games, the graphics look ass though, but the graphics look completely fine when you look at it through a freaking first party perspective. You know, just look at Super Mario Galaxy and whatnot. You know, it looks pretty damn good, but I don't know. I just think that was just a major turnoff on the Wii, and that was like basically part of the reason why I didn't buy one really. But I really wouldn't say because of it, it's a bad system. I would say more that it's a, I don't know. I really don't have much of an opinion besides those two. with the Wii. But outside of that, I do think that some of the quality and quantity that the system that it brings you is pretty good. I do like the fact that there is one good thing that I love about it, and that's the market, because the market gives you games that you won't see on a 360, you won't see on a PS3. You know, you can get stuff, you can get all those retro games that you won't see on either system, and I think that's a pretty good thing, but a pretty fucked up one at the same time. um, I guess I'm done with my opinion on the Wii because I really don't have nothing else to say about it besides, you know, what I just mentioned. PS3, I have a lot to say about. I saved this one for last because I do have a little bit of a bone to pick with a PS3. Um, you know, I had a PS3 before I had a 360, and I had a PS3 when it first came out. So my shit still has the backwards compatibility and whatnot, and I still have the old shit. I still have the original shit that Sony put in the PS3. So of course I played it a lot longer too, but that's besides the point. My point is I think that overall the PS3 is a good system, but it has some flaws in it. Well, technically every system has flaws in it, but I do think that, well, like I mentioned earlier when I was mentioning the 360, the 360 does not have shit technology-wise. But when it comes to the quantity of gaming and whatnot, it stands alone and it stands pretty tall on it. Well, the PS3 is more technology-wise. It has very advanced and very good technology, and I think the system is good because of that. Even though when I first seen it, I think it was more of an overgrown PSP, but that's the size of, only because of the menu. But that's the size of the point. The point is, I do think that the technology portion of it was pretty good. I think that the technology portion of it was pretty advanced. Now, back to what I was talking about motion control on the Wii, I think that what PS3 did is technically what I think Nintendo should have done. And that's with the controller. The controller was both a little bit of motion controlling and at the same time not really. And I think that that's what the Wii should have done. I think it should have been a controller that you can regularly play games with, and it has a motion controlling. It has motion control feature as well. So, you know, when it comes to the right time, you can do this and that. Like I remember Grand Theft Auto 4. If you had the controller, you can switch in between playing it regularly, or you can play it with the motion control style, which, you know, you move the controller left and right to steer the cars and whatnot. I think that was very good to do that. And even though PS3 has a few games, exclusive games that focus more on that, like Killzone or Heavy Rain or whatnot, I do think that, you know, overall it's very fun to experiment and use and whatnot. There wasn't really much to hate about a PS3 though. It was just the update times and the trophy system was ass. And the one thing I hated the most about was chatting. I hated text chatting. I think that was the dumbest shit ever. I want to play a game and I want to talk to my friends, but I don't want to text chat. I want to party chat like you could on a 360. And I think that's what the PS3 was missing. And part of my reason for making a 360 as a personal preference was because nobody was socialized on there. You know, no, there was no socialization going on a goddamn PS3. But another reason, and I would say this is like the main reason I shit on the PS3 a lot, is because of the fan base. I hate the fucking fan base with PS3. I really do. I think they're fucking dumb. I think this is the exact reason why when it comes to console wars, oh shit, when it comes to console wars, it just freaking, I don't know what to say. It's just boring. It doesn't make sense. Alright, I lost my train of thought, so that's why it kind of looks like I cut out. But anyway, back to what I was saying. I don't like the fan base because I think it's dumb. I think it's retarded. I think it's dumb as fuck. I hate. It's just nothing but a bunch of fucking bragging bitches, man. I fucking hate it. It's like we have this and you don't have this. I mean, just because we have it and you don't, you're butthurt over it. Switch to the PS3, fuck 360, fuck X. I mean, yeah, fuck 360, fuck the Wii. Come over to the PS3 side. We're the only side that actually matters. It's like every fucking person I know that has or I've met that has nothing but a PS3 are always like that. And I'm not shitting on most people. It's like, oh, we don't have to, I'm not going to buy a system that I have to pay for my internet service. It's like, what the fuck ever. That's all they fucking brag about is we have free internet, we have free content, we have better content, and we have the better graphics. Therefore, we're the better system. And it's like, come the fuck on now. It's really nothing but, oh, it's just a few minor things. Like I mentioned before, Xbox uses the quantity that they have and not the technology. And it's still a better system than the fucking PS3. It took the PS3 how many years in order to sell more systems than the 360? Come the fuck on. Don't even pull that shit. It's like, I don't know. I see nothing but PS3 fanboys just fucking bragging about what the fuck they got. I think it's fucking dumb. I see it more as the 99% versus the 1% thing, you know, just because you're the 1% means you're better than everybody else, which honestly, I think that's pretty bullshit. I think that's a bullshit perspective, and you know what? I don't give two shits who the fuck you. I don't give two shits who the fuck you are. Just because of what you got does not mean you're fucking better. But still, I look at it in that fucking perspective, you know. Shit. That's normally why I don't really respect diehard PS3 fans, but that's just because I don't know. Is that exact reason though, but I don't think that because of a few features that doesn't appear in the other two systems, I don't think that makes a system superior, you know. I don't think that that's what makes a system, you know, it makes me more want to ignore the system than to buy it if I didn't have one. Well, anyway, yeah, that's pretty much what I think about the PS3. It's not the system that's horrible, it's the people that play the system that plays the system that's horrible. And I'm not saying that anybody who has a PS3 is horrible. I'm saying people who only own a PS3 and only the PS3 and think just like that are the main people who just needs to be like, shut the fuck up. But and don't get me wrong, you got 360 fanboys bragging about who got the better internet and oh, we didn't get hacked and whatnot though. But at the same time, you don't see them bragging about everything they fucking got. You know, they don't say, "Oh, we're the best." Is woo woo. You probably see a couple people here and there think that though, but at the same time, you don't see everybody like that. Uh, so that's my opinion for all three systems and what I honestly think about everything. Hope you liked it. Hope you enjoyed it. I would love to see some debate comments or whatnot. I would love to see some video responses that's possible. I think it's a very good thing to discuss before the 360, the PS3, and the Wii goes into retirement. Seeing that the new systems are coming up, even though I honestly don't think they're really going to go into retirement because everybody's disappointed in the fucking PS4. So far, the rumors of the PS4 and the rumors about the 720, and I don't really see that many people that satisfied with the Wii U. So I don't know. Um, that's all I have. That's all I have to say. So this is Yuki Konata, aka Miss Dar Nagato, signing out.